Petrol prices are delivering fresh shocks at the pump across the country, pushing more drivers to dodge the Bowser entirely, with EV loans doubling and used electric vehicles seeing a surge in interest that most people did not see coming. At the same time, affordable new battery electric options are landing at record low drive-away prices. Subaru is confirming its next electric SUV for mid-2026, and Porsche is bringing an 850 kilowatt electric SUV that can crush supercars while weighing 2.5 tonnes. This is Plugged in Australia. Welcome to episode 39 of Plugged in Australia for Monday, the 30th of March 2026. We are a news-style podcast delivering the latest on full battery electric vehicles, plug-in hybrids and extended range electric vehicles with a sharp Australian focus. Just in case it's your first episode and you were wondering, what are these guys doing? Today we've got wall-to-wall detail on the cheapest EVs yet, new crossovers and performance machines heading our way, major charging infrastructure wins, and the consumer shift that's shaping the market. All of these and much more. Let's get plugged in. Alright, we've mentioned this model a few times in the past, and now we have more pricing and available details now confirmed. MG has finalised the 2026 MG4 Urban as Australia's newest front-wheel drive electric hatch that starts at a national drive-away price of $31,990 across every state and territory, immediately becoming the brand's cheapest EV, while sitting just behind the BYD Atto 1 as the second most affordable new electric vehicle on sale. The model will sell alongside the existing rear-drive MG4 range rather than replacing it, with launch now locked in for April of 2026. Now it will be offered in two battery tiers, a standard model with a 43 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion pack and a long-range variant equipped with a 54 kilowatt-hour unit, both powered by a front-mounted motor producing 120 kilowatts and 250 newton meters of torque. DC fast charging capability peaks at 150 kilowatts for a 10 to 80% charge in approximately 30 minutes. And the car will measure 4,395 mm long, 1,842 mm wide, and 1,551 mm tall on a 2,750 mm wheelbase. Standard equipment includes the 15.6-inch infotainment touchscreen, ventilated 50-watt wireless phone charger, full LED lighting, 360-degree camera, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the full suite of active safety systems, sharpening competition against the BYD Atto 2, which starts at $31,990 before on roads. The Chery E5 is at $36,990 before on roads, and the forthcoming Geely EX2 hatch expected late in 2026. Subaru has officially locked in the 2026 Uncharted small electric SUV for Australian arrival in the middle of next year, positioning it as the brand's third EV and the most affordable and compact member of the electric family alongside the existing Solterra and the forthcoming Trailseeker. Built on the shared ETNGA platform with its Toyota CHR electric twin, the Uncharted is essentially the battery electric counterpart to the popular Crosstrek, and will be offered exclusively with Subaru's signature symmetrical all-wheel drive system featuring dual motors producing a combined 252 kilowatts of power. That output is enough for a claimed 0 to 100 per hour sprint in exactly 5 seconds flat, with torque expected to exceed 400 newton meters once full local specifications are released. Underpinning the performance is a 74.7 kilowatt-hour CATL battery pack that delivers a WLTP range of 522 kilometers, supported by 150 kilowatt DC fast charging that can replenish 10 to 80% in 30 minutes, or 22 kilowatt AC charging that brings the pack from flat to full in roughly 4 hours. Subaru has also fitted 1500 watt vehicle to load capability for camping or remote work use. Ground clearance sits at 211mm, only 9mm lower than the current Crosstrek, while 20-inch alloy wheels, LED headlights and a full suite of Subaru's eyesight safety technology, including a 360-degree camera, come as standard. Inside the cabin features a 14-inch central touchscreen, digital instrument cluster, dual wireless phone chargers, and an array of physical buttons for key functions that Australian buyers have come to expect from the brand. Now, pricing has not been finalised, but is expected to sit comfortably below the more powerful Trailseeker, while offering genuine family practicality and all-weather capability that sets it apart from many front-drive Chinese rivals in the same size bracket. The Uncharted's mid-2026 timing gives Subaru a head start over the Toyota CHR Electric, which is not due until mid-2027, and it will be a direct rival to models like the BYD Atto 3, MG S5 EV, and the upcoming Geely EX2 in the growing compact electric crossover space. Renault's all-new Scenic E-Tech electric SUV has been put through its paces on Australian roads and delivers exceptional refinement, a quiet cabin, composed ride, and thoughtful packaging that makes it feel more premium than its price suggests. Now, their three variants are priced from $55,990 before on roads for the entry-level Techno, rising to $59,990 for the Techno long range, and $65,990 for the flagship Esprit Alpine. The base Techno uses a 60 kWh NMC battery paired with a 125 kW excited synchronous motor, producing 280 Nm of torque for a 0 to 100k an hour time of 8.6 seconds. While the long range and Esprit Alpine upgrade to an 87 kWh and 160 kW motor, producing 300 Nm and a WLTP ranges of up to 625 km depending on wheel and tyre choice. The Scenic measures roughly 4.5 metres long on a wheelbase that delivers impressive legroom and a practical 545 litre boot. And it stands out for its extensive use of recycled and bio-sourced materials, including 37% recycled ferrous components, up to 80% recycled aluminium, and that's in the bonnets and the doors, a Knauf plant fibre on the dashboard, 100% recycled fabric seat upholstery, and floor mats made from 54% recycled bottles. Standard equipment across the range includes 12-inch and 12.3-inch displays, Google built-in with voice control for 70 functions, adaptive cruise control, 360-degree camera, dual-zone climate control, heated front seats and steering wheel, wireless phone mirroring, over-the-air updates, and either a 19 or 20-inch alloy wheels depending on the grade. The Esprit Alpine adds Harman Kardon audio, massaging driver's seats, synthetic leather trim, power adjustable seats with memory, and brushed metal pedals. The first drive impressions note the lack of a physical spare tyre and a modest steering feel as minor trade-offs, but overall the Scenic goes head-to-head with the BYD C-Line 7, Hyundai Ioniq 5, Kia EV5, Skoda Elroq, and the Zeekr 7X. And Renault's earlier $10,000 cut to the related Megane E-Tech pricing shows the brand is serious about competing on value in the local market. Skoda has introduced the Kodiaq plug-in hybrid to Australia at $63,490 plus on roads, with a current drive-away offer of $68,990, pairing a 110 kilowatt turbocharged 1.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine with an 85 kilowatt electric motor integrated into the transmission for a combined 150 kilowatts of power. A 25.7 kilowatt hour lithium-ion battery provides up to 110 kilometers of electric-only driving and contributes to a claimed 1.9 litres per 100 kilometers combined fuel consumption. While the 5-seat only layout, unlike some of the 7-seat petrol versions, maximise boot space and practicality for families. The Kodiaq plug-in hybrid arrives on the latest MQB Evo platform with multi-link rear suspension, smart dials for climate and drive mode, a 10-inch digital instrument cluster, 13-inch touchscreen, dual wireless chargers, and Skoda's signature Simply Clever features including door edge protectors, umbrella holders, and rear storage nets. Recent real-world testing over mixed Sydney roads returned 3.8 litres per 100 kilometres, well above the official figure, but still impressive for a large SUV, and the powertrain switches seamlessly between modes. It undercuts the Mazda CX-80 plug-in, which starts at $75,750 plus on roads, and the Kia Sorento plug-in from $71,130 plus on roads, while facing pressure from cheaper Chinese 7-seat plug-in hybrids like the BYD C-Line 8 at $56,990 plus on roads. Build quality feels slightly less solid than previous Skodas, with some door rattles noted on rough roads. A reminder that even established European brands must stay sharp against the value onslaught from China. But the overall package delivers engaging dynamics and thoughtful design that many families will very much appreciate. As we reported in an earlier episode on the hybrid powertrain confirmation and tyre specs, GWM has now locked in the Aura 5 small SUV for full Australian launch in the middle of 2026, marking the first hybrid model under the expanding Aura sub-brand and offering buyers a choice of pure electric or dedicated hybrid systems. The 5-seat SUV rides on the flexible GWM1 platform on a 2,720mm wheelbase, measuring 4,471mm long, 1,833mm wide, and 1,641mm tall, with a 175mm of ground clearance, putting it in the same size bracket as the MG S5 EV and slightly larger than the BYD Atto 2. The electric version uses a 150 kilowatt front-mounted motor with 260 newton meters of torque and a 58.3 kilowatt hour battery, delivering 520 kilometers NEDC range in Thailand, supported by 120 kilowatt DC fast charging and vehicle-to-load capability. The hybrid pairs a turbocharged 1.5 litre four-cylinder with a dedicated hybrid transmission and front axle motor for a combined 164 kilowatts and 476 newton meters, and it has a tiny 1.09 kilowatt hour battery, a claimed fuel consumption of 4.29 litres per 100 kilometres, or 23.3 kilometres per litre. Thai launch price equates to roughly $27,600 for the EV and $32,000 for the hybrid before on roads, positioning the Aura 5 competitively against the JQ J5 and BYD Atto 2 once Australian pricing is set. Standard features include 18-inch alloy wheels, LED headlights, 10.25-inch digital cluster, 14.6-inch touchscreen with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, surround view camera, power adjustable seats, ambient lighting, and a full suite of active safety including adaptive cruise, autonomous emergency braking, and lane centering. GWM is still deciding exact Australian powertrain mix, but has confirmed the Aura 5 will join at least two other Aura models as part of a 2026 Onslaught that targets 75,000 annual sales nationally. Two Chinese brands are bringing serious plug-in hybrid and extended range electric firepower to the dual cab Ute segment, with GWM's radical ladder frame electrified Ute and GAC's T9 Hunter both confirmed for 2026 and 2027 arrivals. The GAC model is a clean sheet design with Toyota level quality targets, ladder frame construction, and a plug-in hybrid or extended range electric option that will challenge the Ford Ranger, Toyota Hilux, and Isuzu D-Max on capability. We're offering electric only running for city and off-road use. Full Australian specifications are still being finalised, however the Ute is expected to match or exceed the payload and towing figures of its combustion rivals, while delivering combined fuel consumption well under 3 litres per 100 kilometres in hybrid mode. Meanwhile, the GAC T9 Hunter plug-in is set for a mid-2026 release with a combined 385 kilowatts and 1,000 newton meters from its 1.5 litre turbo petrol engine and electric motors, a 31.2 kilowatt hour battery for around 100 kilometers of electric-only range, total NEDC range of 1,005 kilometers, and fuel consumption as low as 1.6 litres per 100 kilometers. It will be positioned as a direct rival to the GWM Tank 500 and Ford Ranger plug-in hybrid with ladder frame toughness, advanced four-wheel drive systems, and premium interior features aimed at tradies and families who want electrification without sacrificing work capability. Both Utes underline the Chinese push into the one segment Australians have long considered their own, and local distributors are promising full Australian engineering validation and service networks to match the established players. The numbers have now doubled according to fresh lender figures, with EV loans doubling in recent months as Australian drivers actively dodge the petrol pump amid price spikes that have seen some regional Bowser figures hit $3 a litre. At the same time, interest in used electric vehicles has surged dramatically, with buyers who previously hesitated now snapping up second-hand battery electrics and plug-in hybrids because of the running cost saving are simply too compelling to ignore. Skoda Australia reports that showroom traffic for its plug-in hybrid models has grown noticeably in line with fuel prices, while car sales data shows EV consideration skyrocketing across the buyer population. One industry voice has described plug-in hybrids as a costly mistake for most Australian drivers who do not have reliable home charging or consistent short commutes, arguing that the added complexity and high purchase price rarely deliver the promised savings compared to a full battery electric vehicle for typical use patterns. Polestar has also reinforced the circular economy message by expanding the use of recycled materials and refurbished batteries in its production process, further lowering the long-term environmental and ownership costs of owning an EV. The combined effect is clear: more Australians than ever are deciding that an electric or plug-in vehicle makes financial and practical sense right now. I ran the numbers for our family last night, and we are saving approximately $100 per week per vehicle. We have two EVs, and that's based on the average price of the last 2 weeks for diesel and for 95 unleaded, which is what our previous vehicle took. When I extrapolate that out to a year, when you allow for holidays and activities changing, it just under $10,000 for the year for both vehicles. So that's just fuel. That doesn't allow for maintenance savings as well, which would then add a little bit to that as well. So there is definitely some real world savings to be had. 10 grand a year, we keep these cars for 5 years, that's $50,000. Now obviously fuel pricing will hopefully not stay where it is, so those numbers are going to fluctuate, but you get the picture that there's definitely some savings to be had there. Porsche has delivered the Cayenne Turbo Electric to Australian media for its first local drives, and the 2.5-tonne electric SUV is every bit as astonishing as the numbers suggest. With 850 kilowatts of combined power from its tri-motor layout and a 113 kilowatt-hour battery, the Turbo Electric launches to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.5 seconds and tops out at 260 kilometers per hour while still managing a WLTP range of around 630 kilometers, with thanks to advanced 800-volt architecture and sophisticated thermal management. Australian pricing is expected around $259,000 before on-roads when it arrives later in 2027. But the performance is Ferrari crushing, while the ride and handling remain true to Porsche's sports car DNA. The first drive review praises the instantaneous torque delivery, four-wheel steering that makes the big SUV feel nimble, and the ability to maintain composure on Australian country roads despite that big curb weight. Regenerative braking is strong yet responsive, and the cabin blends the luxury materials with a driver-focused layout that includes the latest Porsche communication management system and over-the-air updates. It will sit alongside the existing Cayenne combustion and plug-in hybrid range as the flagship zero-emission option, giving Australian buyers a genuine performance electric SUV that doesn't ask them to compromise on badge, prestige, or everyday usability. Melbourne Airport and BP Pulse have broken ground on a major new EV charging hub that will feature 24 dedicated bays with a mix of 150 and 300 kilowatt ultra-fast chargers, making it one of the largest single-site installations in the country and a significant boost for both travellers and daily commuters using the airport precinct. The hub is part of a broader push to make long-distance and high-traffic locations genuinely EV-friendly, and it directly addresses the question raised in recent industry analysis of whether Australia's charging network can eventually replace the role of traditional petrol stations for the growing number of battery electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles on our road. Meanwhile, Tesla has introduced a new foldable supercharger design that dramatically reduces installation time and cost, allowing faster rollout of high-power chargers in regional and urban locations without the need for extensive civil works. The foldable units maintain the full 250 kilowatt output and are already being trialled internationally, with Australian Tesla owners expected to see them appear at new sites later this year. Together, these developments strengthen the case that our public charging infrastructure is maturing rapidly enough to support the continued growth in EV adoption. Alright, now for some quick hits on new arrivals and some commercial options. And starting off, Cupra has brought the Born VZ Performance hatch to Australia with a catch. Initial supply is limited, and the 71,990 Plus on roads price positions it as a halo model rather than a volume seller. But it brings 240 kilowatts and sharp dynamics to the small EV segment. Ford has launched the Transit City electric van in Europe with a 110 kilowatt motor, 56 kilowatt hour LFP battery, 254 kilometer WLTP range, and payload of up to 1,275 kilograms. And while it's not yet confirmed for Australia, the affordable pricing under £30,000 in the UK makes it a strong candidate for local fleet operators looking for a cheaper alternative to the larger e-Transit Custom. Cupra has also released the Tavascan electric SUV for 2027 with a more user-friendly interior layout and a new base grade that lowers the entry price while retaining the 77 kilowatt hour battery and strong performance figures. Mazda remains coy on the exact timing and pricing of both its 6E and CX-6E electric models, however has confirmed they are coming and will be engineered to challenge Tesla directly. NIO's Firefly small electric car has commenced right-hand drive production and is expected to reach Australia in 2026 as serious competition for BYD in the premium compact segment. And that wraps up episode 39 of Plugged In Australia. The EV landscape is moving faster than ever, with more choice, sharper pricing and better infrastructure arriving every month. I very much appreciate you listening and engaging with me here on the podcast. Info at pluggedinaustralia.com.au is how you can get in touch. If you have any feedback or any suggestions at all, more than happy to field those there. Hopefully for any of those of you out there who are yet to go electric, some of the information in this podcast would help you steer you in the right direction. I give a lot of information. Somebody said it was a little bit too much information, but I'd rather give you all the information and then you can make a decision yourself. So until the next time, stay plugged in and stay charged. Ci vediamo.